Yo, 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 hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Andrewcast. And today's episode is brought to you by Buck2. Let me take a second and tell you about Buck2, what Buck2 is. Buck2 is an American fashion brand inspired by art and urban culture. You see, they blend Afro-inspired art and urban aesthetics to create unique and one-of-a-kind product that you will not find anywhere else in the world. As a brand, they want to see every authentic aspect of you, the customer, within their products. They are striving to create and awaken the culturally elevated through quality clothing that reflects you, again, the customer. Buck2 is really awesome. I had the honor of having Chris, the CEO, on our podcast, and he's a really, really good guy. And his product is really awesome too. I bought some of their merchandise before I had Chris on the show, and I was really happy with it. So, today, what I can do for you, the listener, is I'm going to hook you up real quick. If you go to the Buck2 website and you go to checkout and you put in the code Andrewcast39, that's all caps, Andrewcast, and then the number 39, you get 10% off your order. 10%. That's what I can do for you, the viewer, 10% off. So, go on over to Buck2.co. All you got to do is Google it, Buktu, to get you some Afro urban clothing. It's awesome. It's stylish. It's highly artistic. Great products. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Buck2. Thank you, Andrewcast listeners. And enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Andrewcast. This is episode 45, and
you sound a little questionable about that.
I was just eating some assorted nuts, and they're in my throat now, and I was having that. Okay, I need to wash it down with water feeling.
What's in your throat?
Nice try. I'm not gonna say there's nuts in my throat.
You know, Andrew, you're a snack master. Every time I come down here, we're gonna do a nice podcast, and there's always some nuts. There's some chocolates. We had some Tostinos.
Tostitos.
No, taquitos.
Taquitos.
Wow.
Yes.
We were way off.
Think about Totino's, like pizza rolls.
The
reason I bring snacks is because when you don't have snacks, people get cranky.
Yeah, that's true. If the Snickers commercials have taught me anything,
right? That's the truth. So Sheldon is going to eat what we like to call in the Arcangeli household a Tokyo banana.
Is that what they're actually called?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's what it's actually called as well.
Yeah.
It's a snack from Japan, real quick. That is kind of like a Uncrustables with banana bean paste in the center. So I'm really curious to see if Sheldon will like it.
Would you like my review as I touch it around?
Go for it. Yeah. Tell us how that feels, real quick, so everyone knows.
It's a little firm.
Spongy, right?
Very spongy.
Yeah.
Looks
Almost
like
all those hairs.
Looks like a Twinkie.
Does look like a Twinkie. It smells like
banana
paste.
Okay.
Do they have a banana Twinkie?
First bite, and
that threw me off guard.
Yeah.
Really? What'd you expect?
A little soft, right?
I thought it was gonna be drier, and it's like really moist, and that threw me off guard. Very
It's
pleasant
good stuff. Yeah, guys, I had mine before the show. I was supposed to eat it during the show, but I just couldn't wait. It was that good.
So was it a yes or a no? Like, do you like it? What's going on?
Yeah, I like that.
There you go, man.
There's a lot going on here.
Well, do tell.
I thought it'd be dry, and it's not dry.
There you have it.
But do you? Never mind. So you were saying something about Shane Dawson, and I have no idea what's
Who
going on
is
with
Shane
that.
Dawson?
He's a YouTuber. He's like a really popular YouTuber.
Is that the guy that was getting in a boxing match with
No, bro.
with
No,
Logan?
No,
Logan
bro.
Paul?
That's
No.
KSI, my guy.
I'm so
KSI.
sorry, guys. I'm
KSI
just
is
trying to figure
whack.
this out.
We had a live viewing of that at my house. That was fun.
That's cool, man. But
So Shane Dawson
yeah.
decided he does like docu-series now. He changed his whole channel up. He used to be, I don't even know what he did before.
He used to be like one of those like funny personality people,
Is that what he
you know,
did?
that was just like all jokes and
Mhm.
dressing up as women and impersonating women and impersonating like different types of people, you know.
So he did documentaries on Jeffree Star. He interviewed him, talked to him, tried to make him, I guess, personal, relatable, but who gives a fuck about Jeffree Star?
I don't know who Jeffree Star is,
I mean,
Just a scumbag.
but like, what do you do to be a scumbag?
I don't know, he just says like just a lot of racial slurs, bullshit.
is he a YouTuber?
Yeah, wait. What?
Nah, he's like he helps Kim Kardashian's like makeup line. I know he did that, but I don't know what he does.
Okay.
But he's a makeup guy.
So he's a part of Kim Kardashian's crew.
No, but like he's recognized in the makeup world because like he is a male, but he does makeup and he could pass as a woman. I believe that's from what I see it.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I pull up a picture of him, you're gonna be like,
He has
I
that
think I know what
house.
you're talking about.
That's like all pink, right?
Yeah.
I know that guy. So Shane Dawson actually did a docu-series in his house
Yeah.
where they went through the house and it was like $1 million handbags.
A lot of stuff.
I'm exaggerating, but like really
no, that's like accurate because he's rich.
really
really
rich lifestyle. Everything's pink. Like it was like insane. It was like a dollhouse, like somebody living in a dollhouse.
Yeah.
So he's basically just a grown-up Barbie or a grown-up Ken doll, depending on if you think he's a girl or a
No,
boy.
he's definitely dressed like a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a grown-up Barbie.
Yeah, kind of like a male barb.
So what makes him a scumbag?
Because he says like people call him out on it because he'll blatantly say the N word. He'll call Mexicans, the B word and all this other stuff, and like people call him out on it and be like, dude, stop! Like you're like quit being a scumbag. Like everyone's nice, and like he gets like he's really flamboyant and over dramatic, and like he does it to be funny, but it's like sometimes not funny. It's like really cringy.
That's interesting if he can say all those things and still have a following like that, especially
It's
on
weird.
YouTube
It's
where
really
there's
weird.
all
it
those.
Reminds me of the Milo thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
Milo?
Like, but Milo is different because he kind of reminds me of what's that?
What do you mean,
like-
Milo? Who's that?
I forget his-
Indianapolis.
Yeah, he was
Talking about-
the-
that guy. Okay.
the alt right, right?
I mean, I
Something
wouldn't
like
even
that.
call
I
him
don't even know what he
alt-right.
was.
He was just somebody that was definitely opposed to the influx of PC culture and a lot of the
Yeah.
more extremist left stances.
But I don't think he was a white nationalist, or was he? a
No,
white
no,
nationalist?
dude. I mean, a lot of people really hate him. He was just a guy that's really upset with like PC culture and liberals. Like
Yeah.
he just didn't really like a lot of liberal philosophy, and he was really railing against it. But that all came crashing down, of course, when his statement on homosexuality and molestation came out.
And he, it was a gay man too, which is like, it's like weird.
Well-
I think you might be thinking of Shapiro.
No, Ben Shapiro is a Jewish guy who like just is just as far Republican as you
Yeah.
can be.
I don't think he's not against gay rights. I don't think he was.
No,
Yeah, Milo.
we're getting super sidetracked though.
We are getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
But
go back
we'll
to
get
this.
we'll get back into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But so then he interviewed this woman, Tana Mono. I forget her name.
You're talking about Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson
Okay.
interviewed this other woman who was controversial figure amongst YouTube.
Who's that? She a
Uh,
cosplayer?
No, she was like, I don't even know what she does.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway, so he decided to do a new one, an 8-part series on Jake Paul.
Really?
And, yeah. And
This
so
this
far-
Barbie
Which
guy.
is Logan Paul's little brother,
No,
right?
not the Barbie guy.
Okay.
The interviewer,
Okay.
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson, yeah.
Just a normal YouTuber who
Okay,
changed
okay,
his
all right,
whole
thank you.
format.
I thought you were saying that this Barbie guy was the YouTuber.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. So he's been doing an 8-part series on Jake Paul. So far there is 6 parts. There's 2 left. They're all like 45 minutes. They're long.
So let me ask you this: like, what it is about, like how to
He
disrespect
thought-
an entire culture?
No, that's Logan Paul, his brother.
Oh,
Yeah,
sh-
we're talking about his younger
Yeah.
brother.
I'm sorry. I keep missing
Let
it.
him explain.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Keep
My
going.
bad.
Keep going.
So the point of the docuseries was, is Jake Paul a sociopath? So like obviously, if you know what a sociopath is, you know that it's not cut and dry. You don't just be like, oh, you like fast cars and you live in a exuberant life and you're loud, you're a sociopath. It's like, no, it's a spectrum, right? So people fall in line on the sociopathic spectrum. You're either less or you're more. So early in the series, it was the first 2 episodes was really dramatic, like horror music playing in the background, and the episodes like 50 minutes long. The first episode had like 20 million views. So 40 minutes long, 20 million views. That's a lot of people watching and retaining attention. Then the next one was a deep dive on his family. Why Jake liked this? Let's look into his family. Then the next one was, let's talk to like a psychiatrist. Let's see what she thinks like sociopaths and his behavior and stuff like that. Then the past 2 episodes, he actually went to his house and like was interviewing him and stuff like that. And then, because Jake has this like, this team, this business called like Team 10. Mm-hmm. And he had people living with him, and people who left were shitting on him. And people were like, oh, Jake's a scumbag. And he never spoke out on it. Then he spoke out on it. And a lot of the truth is coming out about the YouTube climate, like social and climate, just like the people on there. And how, like...
The content creators.
The content creators. Like, a lot of shit has been coming out about some of these people just manipulating, lying, obviously for views with, like, clickbait, but it goes deeper than that. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's really been, like, pretty interesting watching the series. And the next episode is his ex-girlfriend, who she said that he, like, when they lived together and doing the videos, like, he does a lot of pranks, and... He had admit in this series that the pranks are fake, and he has a super young following, right? So these kids are probably thinking everything's like real. Mm-hmm. They're buying his merch, and he came clean, said, "Yeah, the pranks are fake. Like, there's no way that we could do this all the time."
What made him say that though?
Well, he didn't say it. They interviewed someone who used to be in the house.
Okay.
And he said it, and like they had a fallout, but when he left, stuff like that, and it's pretty interesting, man. It's like. Well, I mean, it's like a lot of
if you're a grown man and you're on YouTube and you're watching the literally limitless sea of prank videos on YouTube and you don't understand that 80% of them are fake, I got bad news for you, bro. And in addition to that, Santa Claus isn't real either. I mean,
come on, come on.
I'm sorry, and that's what's crazy.
We gotta think about our public,
our viewing demographic.
So you know what's the crazy part? I thought.
Cheers to you.
I thought
over. Grow up.
Yeah. I thought that the prank culture died almost 10 years ago. I didn't know, like, because I don't watch his channel. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he's a cool dude. Like, he has a good business. I think his business structure is, like, solid. So I'm just like, and he's, like, around our age. I think he's 21 or 22, and he has almost like an empire. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's pretty dope.
Wasn't more of that built off of his older brother's Steam? I don't know anything about the
Logan brothers. They both came up big on Vine.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing the Vine when Vine was huge. I loved Vine. Mm-hmm. So, their videos were like 1 and 2 on Vine. Yeah. All the time. So, and Logan, he's I think he's 23 or 24. Mm. But yes, he probably rode his coattail to success. But then once he got to that point, they both have their own businesses, and they're both like the 1 and 2 of YouTube.
Well, what about the man made them say he's a sociopath? In some respect.
Well, he thought he was because of his behavior. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you have to watch the first episode.
Okay.
Because it is like, he's like, you would watch and you'd be like, dude, like, do you know what a sociopath is? Like, because he says it so many times. I'm like, I don't think you understand what a sociopath is.
Sociopath is definitely a buzzword, right? And it's like, is this person a sociopath? And like, the answer to something like that is so complex, It's
exactly.
Just like,
it's not cut and dry.
Out if this person, like, today we're going to find out if Johnny Depp is a psychopath. Johnny Depp could be a psychopath because he could switch emotions so easily. Who can do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, maybe an actor.
And then that, like, right away, like, people are like hooked. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, he can do a lot of characters. It's like, well, one, he's an actor. Yeah. Logan Paul and his brother are both actors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and he thought he was like, he had sociopathic tendencies or behaviors because, like, if you have a video, if we create a video for our audience and something sad's happened in the video, and then as they're watching it, they hear a rise of sad music, like a somber song, to trigger their emotion, but we don't get triggered by it. He was saying, "Oh, is he lacking empathy?" And it's like,
"Oh, that's really reaching."
What? Yeah, it was the first 2 episodes was a reach. There was a lot of reaching going on.
If you say it's good, I'll check it out. But what it sounds like to me is that it is the YouTube video equivalent of those like tabloids that you see at the cash register at Walmart, where it's like, is Joanne Rivers dying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to that I say, I'm not into a personality that much that I would even entertain that. Yeah. But if you say it's bringing light to a lot of YouTube controversy and wrongdoing, I might check it out.
I think it's worth it to watch because it is bringing a light to a lot of fuck shit that happens on the YouTube community. I watch a lot of YouTube. We all do.
Channel Awesome was under fire, man. Yeah. All these channels are getting
and it's like and it's like people, because and YouTube's also to blame too, because they're so very corporate.
Kid Travis was talking about it when he was on the show about how all the rules are so fucked up, and he's trying to monetize his stuff, and he can't even do it because of videos being stolen, and like they're not willing to do anything about it.
It's the media industry,
and not even that, because we need to get back to like a good time in YouTube. So if like this opens a doorway of people creating content that like these are literally TV episodes, and they're edited in a way where it's like a TV show. If that is going to pave the way for YouTube to be like, yo, we can take over TV today. And also, we can limit our say and let creators create what they want, because his numbers are crazy each episode.
So
and they're 40 minutes long. And if you look up the analytics, the watch time's insane.
Do you think that like Netflix and YouTube are going to take over like cable?
100%.
How long?
Because here's the thing. CBS has their own subscription model, CBS All Access. And on CBS All Access, they have TVMA shows that curse, swear, and show nudity.
Well, how long do you think before that whole thing shifts?
I think it's like now.
It's going to be a while, I think.
I don't even think it's that much of a while, because what's called Amazon Prime shows Thursday night football games.
Yeah, but you got to think about, like, we're talking about it completely going away.
That's what you're talking about. It won't. Like, it won't ever.
Like, think about all these nursing homes in Florida where like the TV is basically showing like 1 pixel, and they're like, "This is my favorite channel."
Yeah, but at the same
people who care about TV.
But at the same time, TVs come embedded with smart features. So
my TV has YouTube right on it.
Exactly.
Dude,
so you don't
YouTube on
some people don't even have cable.
YouTube, Netflix,
they just
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's my smart TVs are the thing, dude. That's the thing to do.
Or
so
you buy a box that older people in nursing homes could think it's like the cable box, but it's actually a Fire TV.
Yeah.
And they just pick whatever content. I think it's fading very fast. However, some of these shows they pull numbers still that YouTube and other stuff will never match, because YouTube, the videos are flash in the pan. They're very short.
Well, yeah.
And the attention span... For now. That's why I think the Shane series is changing it.
But they do make YouTube videos can be upwards to like an hour, 2 hours long.
Okay.
I think the most you can do, I think, is like
or am I wrong?
YouTube's attempting what you're talking about. They have this thing called YouTube Red that you can pay for, which is essentially, it's like, think about how Netflix has original series. YouTube like has all this money that they're using, like YouTube celebrities, like they're using Aaron from Game Grumps and
King
a whole bunch of other people, to put them in like actual like
TV production,
serialized television production level stuff. But it's just like, man, like I go on YouTube to watch stuff for free. Like I don't go on YouTube to pay for stuff.
I guess.
And your whole thing is like, listen, YouTube is great because you can do flash in a pan, and flash in a pan is what gets you views, and that can essentially get you
viral
on a television show. But television shows will always be better because there's more money, there's more production time involved. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, oh, I'm doing YouTube for a living. And it's like, that's awesome. I envy those people.
Yeah.
But like, bro, it's just them grinding out.
And also like YouTube, like, let's say if you have the money, let's say if you have $1 million, right, and you want to make a TV episode, you gotta write a script. You gotta do it all yourself. Script, production.
Yeah.
You gotta edit. Like, whereas a studio has hundreds of people to put out something that'll take you maybe a month. They do it in 3 days.
You got a celebrity. And you got a marketing team. You know what I'm saying? To do that all on your own is tough, man.
But I think the one thing that keeps TV afloat to me, honestly,
sports
broadcasting. Not even just sports, HBO. I think HBO
streaming.
No, just like it keeps. Well, they are in streaming now, but it's keeping TV alive. Because how many times do you hear? And the Emmy goes to Game of Thrones. People are like, what's Game of Thrones?
But they have their own. Yeah, they have their own streaming service too, though.
They have,
and they could easily just completely botch HBO channel when that takes over, which is nice for them.
It is, but at the same time, they also have the HBO Sports, they have the biggest boxing fights on there. So it's like
true, and they have Hard Knocks.
And Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks are great.
Hard Knocks is good, yeah.
What were you about to say?
Oh, I was just, you're talking about YouTube Red, and you're saying that that's more for more TV production quality.
But I'm saying
videos.
I don't know one person that has subscribed to that.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing that.
I would like to see the numbers.
I would
love to see the numbers of how many.
You could probably find it right now.
I was just curious because you're talking about longer length videos, correct?
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
It's like, think about a YouTube video with the quality and the duration of an actual televised episode.
Okay, you're just talking about quality. Because I was gonna say I watch videos that are upwards an hour, 2 hours long, and it's not a part of YouTube Red.
Yeah,
that's all I was saying.
Yeah, YouTube. Exactly.
The thing is, there's people they're not making the YouTube Red. That's a guaranteed set amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that hour long video, that creator. It can range.
But I never hear about anything. I guess it's because it's only YouTube content creators, from what I know, just from you guys were telling me. But I don't hear about any shows from YouTube Red. I don't hear about anything worthwhile going on YouTube Red for.
PewDiePie had one. The K-pop group BTS, they had one.
Yeah, BTS.
They still have one.
They're huge. They're massive.
Great music. Natalia and Grace just went to their concert at Met Stadium.
They're K-pop fans?
Yeah, bro. Dude, it's
so interesting.
Dude, it's
they're kind of breaking through the barriers.
Well, Grace is Korean, so she understands music, and Natalia has been you know how you learn Spanish?
Yeah.
To help you not only with your family but also in your line of work.
Yeah.
So Natalia
talking about Grace Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. She used to be my neighbor, you know that?
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that the other day. So Natalia, my girlfriend, in her line of work, she's getting her doctorate in physical therapy.
Okay. Good for her.
Where she wants to do her physical therapy at, there's a very strong Korean community. So she wanted to learn how to speak right in Korean, and K-pop music is helping her vastly.
Yeah.
And also helps that one of her best friends is Korean as well. So she's picking up like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and so back to the BTS thing, she sent me a video from the concert. Unreal.
Crazy.
Massive.
Crazy, dude.
Crazy. Ravaging.
Giant female fan base. Just massive.
Dude.
You just talking about K-pop?
Yeah.
Do you guys watch K-pop?
No. I'm not a boy band kind of person. I appreciate K-pop.
I like the music. I like the music because there's rapping in it. And I have obviously no idea what they're saying.
Of course.
But it's the flow. It's the cadence.
Cool.
I'm like, yo, this sounds good.
Yeah, man.
This sounds right. And then if I really like it, I'm like, oh, let me learn some of these words a little bit.
Is K-pop? I'm not familiar. Is it fast paced?
It could be whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
It's very beat emphasis. There's some banging instrumentals. That's the cool thing I do like about K-pop.
And BTS has a lot of American producers on their stuff.
Yeah, because it's getting that much hype.
Yeah.
That the epicenter of music production, which is this country, by the way. If you haven't traveled globally, and Sheldon will tell you, and you could probably attest to this too. American music is the music.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all people listen to.
So check.
I mean, dude, when I was in Kenya, I was literally in rural Kenya, and these kids had still listened to Drake.
Juice World.
Yeah, seriously, they listen to Drake. They listen to Lil Wayne. They knew about Jay-Z. These people were known in the smallest areas of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It transcends. So, BTS, right? They not hate, but they're one of the few that write their own music and they arrange the music.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do research on some of their members, the songwriters in that group, there's 7 of them. I think 4 of them write. Out of the 4, 3 of them have over 80 songs accredited to their name.
Wow.
So, and also K-pop is a huge machine over there. It's loved and
it's
and
almost
people,
obsessed over, right?
Yeah, and people think it's fake that these people don't make that much money. Once they're in the system pays for everything. But once they're too old and they leave, they're broke as shit.
I heard my friend is Korean.
Too old. Key. Yeah.
I have a friend who's Korean, and the only thing I ever heard about K-pop was when I was with her, and we were at some kind of Korean bar, restaurant kind of thing, and K-pop was actually on TV.
Yeah.
And she was just to get into K-pop, you have to go through surgery. You have to really just make it your life, and make a lot of sacrifices that are would be considered crazy here.
Yeah.
And one thing Asian people do got going from them, I don't mean to be racist, just to make an observation, is that they tend to maintain a more youthful look than other races. You know what I'm saying? They could be very deceiving. When you're in Japan and you see somebody and you meet them, they look like they're 30, but they're 40 years old. Yeah. So that's the thing.
They also probably take good care of themselves over there too. It's different. It's different ways of life.
Everything
And it's kind of like London this way. Yes, they do take really good care of themselves, but for some reason, not teeth.
Yeah.
Not teeth, dude.
Yeah.
It must be a cultural thing.
It becomes apparently obvious when you're
Yeah.
there.
Well, I mean, are braces just not a big thing in London?
I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's just, yeah.
But another thing that's like interesting is that so we call it K-pop, right?
Yeah.
In America, we call it K-pop.
They just call it music.
Well, because
we call it art.
Yeah, because so obviously when they're talking interviews in like English, whatever, they say K-pop, but like they're like, oh, we make hip hop, dance, rap music, stuff like that, R&B. They say R&B.
They do it all.
Yeah, and they were like, who are some of your influences? And some of them were like Drake. One of them said Pharrell Williams, and I was like, oh shit.
I mean, to be fair, Pharrell Williams is very diverse,
phenomenal, and so they're the same age as us, right? And they are the first ever Korean group to have a debut album #1 in America twice.
Yeah,
they were the first Korean.
Is this
group.
recent?
They're killing it.
So like, what's the song? Do I know it?
I don't know if you heard it. If you heard it, you would know it. We can play them later. They're the first Korean group to ever win a Billboard Award, American Music Award.
Okay.
They are the first group to ever speak at the UN. Like 2 weeks ago.
Did they perform?
No, they spoke 8 minutes. 8 minutes. They did a speech. And
what was their topic?
It's amazing
about being yourself and being
okay.
nice to your people around you. And it was fitting for the climate that's in America, how everyone like hates everyone now. Mm-hmm. It's like love yourself and love others, stuff like that.
Okay, I can get behind that. That's pretty cool.
It was a really nice. It was a good speech.
Yeah.
And then they also did something, but their album numbers and record sales are insane.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Like it's wild.
Who would you parallel them to?
Think about it. Like, think about
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, the boy band. Just think like mega boy band. That's who you'd compare them to.
Well, I mean, like in today's age, like in terms of selling their records and selling their songs, like who would you compare them to?
They're up there. I don't know who I can compare them to, but so we're in a streaming culture, right? So you know how like Lil Wayne's album Carter 5 first week numbers was 490,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
BTS first week sales of their album in May was 2 million.
He's taking the jacket off. He's really about to get into it.
Think about that. But that's that's worldwide. 2 million copies sold. We're not talking about streaming numbers. We're talking copies.
Okay.
Well, think about though that Psy paved the way for all of that. That was like the huge debut of
SIA
of K-pop music.
Oh, you're talking about something different.
PSY, Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Oh my
See?
God.
Even you know, man. Like
everyone knows who Psy is.
Exactly. But like that guy paved the way. Where's he at now, though? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's crazy though. They say that he's a god in Korea.
I'm sure he's a god in Korea, but like, where's he at now in like the U.S. charts? So what I'm trying to say, and again, I'm not trying to go down. I'm not trying to go down a road of degradation to BTS, but I'm saying, man, like it's very cyclical. Like I feel like they're gonna go into obscurity, maybe not soon, but like
here's the thing.
There's gonna be a time where that happens. Because Psy, you don't hear anything about Psy now.
Psy was also 40-something years old.
But my thing is, K-pop music doesn't have longevity here in the
United
United
States. Not like the Beatles or like Jay-Z or someone like that.
I think these guys, and there's a wave coming over, like around the world of just like K-pop music.
K-pop's taking over the world, baby.
It is, man, and it's like
one chart at a time.
I don't know, man. You can't beat American hip hop. That's like the genre of the world, bro.
Yeah, definitely right now. I'd say
at least for young people.
I think one of them wants to do a song with J. Cole. But anyway,
can you imagine J. Cole in like a K-pop type song?
English, so, and one of them he learned English. Remember we were talking about learning different languages? He said when he was a young boy, he learned English with his mom by watching Friends.
Yeah.
Which friend do you think he talks like?
Dude, know what's funny? He because his English is really, really good.
Okay.
He sounds like he talks like not to sound stereotypical, but he talks like an inner city Asian kid that goes to temple.
I'd ask you for an example, but
when I hear him talk and I hear the mannerisms, and he has when he speaks in English, you can see his mouth, you can see like his face, like he doesn't talk like a person who learned English. He talks like he innately
knew English.
Yeah, inherently knew English and learned it like how we learn.
The fact is, if you're gonna be in the media at all in general, a global media star, it's most advantageous to learn English. That's the best language you can use, because when you're a star here, it's the most valuable stardom that you could obtain within the entire world would be stardom in America.
I mean, just really anything. It's the standard globally.
It is, but also like if you're gonna be a celebrity, man, like you got to learn English. But I feel you on that, man. Gus, he told me that the way that he learned English is watching Cartoon Network, just watching cartoons. Yeah, totally, man. It's the same thing when people are like, "Oh, I'm watching anime to learn Japanese." Japanese is hard, but we were just talking upstairs, like we picked up some like words from anime. Man.
Yeah. I mean, I learned some French
from
Dexter's Lab.
The whole K-pop thing.
No, we were talking about YouTube. That's where it came from, and I just want to add a YouTube story in real quick. So it's the month of October. It's supposed to be spooky times.
Spooky.
When I'm working on stuff, I found this YouTube channel called Let's Read. And all it is like true creepy and scary encounters that were on Reddit, like subreddits, like the subreddit Let's Never Meet Again, where people like run into people that are insane or something like that.
Yeah.
And a guy narrates it, and he narrates it while he has just like a kind of like a horror-based Explorer game in the background. Nothing too crazy, but just like very mild. And he goes through and just like reads the stories. Dude, I am addicted. There's like 5-hour compilations on YouTube of just him reading the stories. If anyone's bored, just look up Let's Read on YouTube and just watch those videos.
So are these?
A warning though, you will be creeped out, man.
Are these interactions on the internet or real life interactions that people post?
So subreddits are like.
Well, I know what a subreddit is.
Well, it's people sharing their experiences. So these are subreddits that are based around like stalkers and just crazy, mysterious encounters with people, stuff that can't be explained. Not really supernatural, but more like what was happening that night. Like, why was that guy standing in my front lawn? Just like really, really edgy scenarios. And he goes through the subreddits and he picks the best ones and he reads them. And it's great, man. And so it got me thinking, like, have I ever had a time where I've run into a stalker or someone I thought was potentially dangerous? And I was like, no, I don't think so. But then, dude, it came to me. There is something that I forgot about that happened to me in high school a long, long time ago that these stories brought out, bro, and I have to tell this story. So, check it out. This was like the summer of 2010, and I wanted to join the track team junior year. So, every night, dude, I would go running out this neighborhood, like down the street all the way around to like where the beginning of the clusters was.
Okay.
And that kind of forest that separates that one neighborhood from the clusters. There's like this little gap.
Where I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, like that little like thing where you step.
I know exactly.
It's
what
like a little
about.
stream, and you hop over, and you run through the woods, and then you're right into the clusters. So I used to do like this whole loop, but bro, I used to wait till like 11:30 midnight to do this. I called it like midnight running. Sometimes Gus would go with me.
Yeah,
bro, it was super cool. And I was super dumb, man. I had like my headphones in, like, dude, I never ever not had them in. I had like a playlist, like I would go and run, and it was so relaxing, dude. So I remember, I used to pass this house like every single night running. I used to pass this house, and I would do this every weekday. I would run at midnight, sometimes with Gus, but like this particular time, I remember I was alone, dude, and I'm running past this house 5 nights, right? 5 nights I'm running past this house. And then every once in a while when I'd run past this house, I'd see this guy like taking out his garbage. He's like a younger dude. He looked like really normal, kind of like white dude, like facial hair. And I'd see him like taking out his garbage or like sitting on the porch or just like doing normal stuff, like getting out of his car. I swear to you, I'm not making this up just because of stories. I forgot all about this.
Yeah.
Dude, one night I'm running, right, past the house, and I don't see the guy. And I'm like, oh, I guess like he's not coming back from work tonight or whatever, you know. Dude, I look behind me and he's running behind me, bro. He was running behind me.
What?
He was running behind me. And like as soon as he saw me, he just turned off. I think he was messing with me. He just like turned off.
That's terrifying.
But dude, yeah, I had my headphones in so I couldn't hear anyone running behind me. And I just look, and the guy that
was
I saw for like the past 5 nights. What?
Was it sprinting behind you?
No, I'm jogging like
Chills.
You know what I'm saying? Just like
Chills.
I have my workout vibe on, so it's not too fast, right?
Yeah.
But then I see him just jogging behind me, almost like he was copying me.
How close behind you was you?
Dude, like probably like 3 or 4 people distance.
Oh wow!
Like he was just like jogging, like I was jogging, and I'm like, is he mimicking me? Is he?
But this is like
me?
midnight, 1 in the morning, right?
Yeah, and I was super tired. You know how like when you're tired and like you're running, you don't really think.
I just
about,
got chills.
Yeah, I was just like, but he wasn't making eye contact with me. He was
What
just
made
like,
you turn around?
Because I didn't see him. I swear to you, every night, like when I passed his house, at the time I passed it, I would see something. I would see him coming out of the car, or like him on the porch. And it was so non-creepy, or him taking out the trash. And one night I didn't see him, and I was like, "Where's he at?" And I looked, and he was behind me. And dude, like he was just like running, almost like he was working out with me. And I'm like, "What?" And then like as soon as he saw me, he just kind of like turned off and went somewhere. He didn't even go back to his house. Pretty weird, right?
Yeah. Did you ever see him again?
I never saw him again.
I would have never.
Did you ever go out again at midnight?
Yeah, I did. The thing is, at the time, I wasn't freaked out because I had adrenaline running. I had this rock music going on.
Yeah,
and I was like, I actually thought like, oh, maybe like he was like, maybe he was working out too. Like that's where my logic was at. But no, it was too much of a coincidence that he was like so close behind.
That's
me.
weird.
And I completely shut that out, dude. Like I didn't remember it until I was listening to the
You
stories.
suppressed.
I mean, it's weird that you never seen him again after that.
Yeah, no, I never ever saw him again. So, I wonder why. I don't know, man. I honestly think that maybe he was just a weird dude. Like maybe he just like wanted to beat me or something like that.
Yeah,
like beat me in a race.
Yeah,
you know? Like maybe he just like wanted to pass me or something like that, and he couldn't do it.
That's
Know.
crazy.
I wasn't running.
Yeah,
fast.
you're too fast for him.
It was pretty weird though.
I'll tell you what, man.
Did you make the track team?
Yeah. Did I say I did it to make the track team? I wanted to be good. You could just walk on the track team. I just wanted to not die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to not die.
I'll tell you what, man. In around our way, because me and him both live around here. Running at nighttime, it's really dark around these parts.
Yeah, do you guys do the street lights not come on around where I'm from?
It's not even
like,
that.
On my block, the street lights don't go on. It's like pitch black.
Yeah.
Like it's not even that. It's just like there's not many street lights because they're so long from each other. So like, and like running on this road on Benson Boulevard, it's a long dark road. So you got to like be careful.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So you don't get hit by a car.
Yeah, a car.
Because people come flying down that road, and even going past Struble that way. Running through the industrial park, it's scary.
Why would you ever run through an industrial park? That sounds like a terrible idea.
It's not
that
like,
is where you're gonna get jumped or attacked
it's not like,
by a ghoul or a goblin, especially in October, man. We're in October season,
spooky season. No, but it's not like running through the industrial park. It's like it's there and you're running next to it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, okay. So the ghosts are like they have a wall. They have like some kind of
hey, you enjoying your run? It's
block.
like, yeah, my run's good. All right, run a little harder.
Have a good run.
Yeah, man. But I bring that up to say, like, have you guys ever had encounters with
I might need to listen to this.
Creepy people
videos.
all the time.
Just like stuff
all the time.
Stuff that you couldn't explain or stuff that actually made you feel threatened. And it's weird because a lot of the stories are girls, right? It's like a girl and she's pretty, and there's just like this dude that won't take a hint, and like just
incel.
Not an incel, like somebody who's just like doesn't get social cues, man. Just like really, really crazy. I'm trying to think of a story. Okay, so this one's really wild. I'm gonna tell this story, and I can't believe this happened. So it's this girl was telling the story, and she's like, I have a brother who's my age. We're not really close, but like we respect each other's space. And we were both in high school at the time, and our parents went away, and she goes, he was very popular in school, and I wasn't really that popular. He was really into the party scene. I wasn't really into the party scene. So our parents went away, and the brother asked her, hey, is it all right if I have a party here? Like, is it all right if I bring some people over? She's like, yeah, I'm just going to be in my room. I'm going to put headphones on and just, like, go to sleep. And so he's like, cool. I'm just going to have people over, maybe not too late. But it turned out to be, like, a pretty big party, right? So she goes to her room, and she goes to sleep while this party's going on. Something wakes her up, right? This is, like, after the party's been done. So maybe, I remember the story said it was, like, 2 o'clock, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, like, pretty late. After the party's done, something causes her to wake up, all right? And she's like, well, like, did somebody just come in the room? What's going on? It's really dark. She can't see anything, right? So she takes the headphones off. She's like, that's weird. Like, I really feel like someone's in here. And she hears, like, this sound. She calls it, like, a wet, like, slapping sound, right? Bro.
That's weird.
The sound of that.
Long story short.
Her brother was jerking off.
Some random dude that the brother didn't know snuck into the room and was jerking off in her closet.
Oh my
so she
God.
said, like, she was horrified. Like, she was just, like, frozen.
How'd she know he was in there? Could she see him?
She just heard, like, a noise, right? And she was like, it's coming from the closet.
I would not walk toward that closet.
Like, what? And it's pitch black, dude. So she's like, what is that? And she said something in her was just like, I have to do something. So she springs up out of her bed. She turns the light on, and this dude had her underwear in one hand, and he was jerking off in the other. and he was like leaned up against like those giant teddy bears that people have. Like he was leaned up against that. Dude. So she saw the silhouette of the teddy bear. She didn't see him until like she opened the closet, and she said that like his eyes were just like wild, like what? And
like a deer in the headlights.
She started kicking him. That's what it said. Like she just started kicking him, bang, just like bang, kicking him, and then like screaming. And the brother walked in, and the brother started punching him, and they threw him out the house. Jesus and she was Christ. Like, "Did you know who that guy was?" And he's like, "No, I've never seen that guy in my life." And she's like, "We're never gonna have a party here again." How crazy is that?
That's fucking terrifying, dude. How bad must the brother feel?
Dude, I guess he must have been beside himself. Like I don't have a sister, but I could only imagine how I felt. Dude. But those are the type of stories that are on Let's Read, and they're mind-blowing, man. I listen to like 60 a day.
Damn, I would have to do that at like the earliest point of the day where the sun's as high as
yeah, it can't be too dark reading those things.
No, I listen to them before I go to sleep. I'm not gonna lie.
You're brave.
I'm
doing a lot braver than us.
I'm doing other stuff though.
Are you a sociopath?
Right.
I don't. Yeah,
this is all the makings of a sociopath.
Want me to call Shane Dawson?
No, man.
Hit him up on Twitter.
I'm very privileged, man, because of being a dude. Like I don't gotta worry about people stalking me. Like who's gonna stalk me, bro?
You don't know, man. There's some freaks out there,
bro. Listen,
I'm not
man.
even cute. Like who's gonna stalk me?
Bro, hey. Don't put that energy out there.
I'm not going to put the energy out there, but like even if somebody did, I'm not talking like I'm Timmy Tough Guy, but I know how to handle myself, so like I feel like I'd be all right. Obviously, if there's a gun or a knife, I will say a lot of women are more prone to something like that than a full-grown man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't really scare me that much, man. But I'm telling you, man. Like, have you guys ever had like an experience with a stalker, like a weird person?
To think. Not really.
See, exactly, yo. That's guys. We don't gotta worry about that stuff, man. If we ever have a conversation, it's very real, like it's in front of us. You know?
Dude, like I said, I might have to listen to one of these Let's Read, and it might trigger something that I suppressed, and I can't because I'm thinking, I'm like, I can't remember something.
Right.
But like, if I heard something or saw something that could trigger an emotion.
That's what it was. I was like, have I ever had something weird happen to me? I was like, that was weird.
I don't really think I want to trigger anything like that. Like, if I'm repressing something, it's supposed to be repressed.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you could always look at it that way. But, I came back from Adult Swim Fest. You guys would have loved it.
Yeah,
like,
dude, tell us about it.
It was crazy, man. Like, T.I. opened up the show, and he did, have you ever seen The Ballad of Freaknik?
No.
It was like a very obscure Adult Swim cartoon that was like a one-off. CeeLo Green plays this auto-tune ghost, and it's like the funniest thing ever.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it looks like
a
vaguely.
Pac-Man ghost.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, Jake went with you, right?
It was
Jake
a one-shot?
and
my buddy Jeremy. Jay, who's on the show, who pretty much like co-jumped this with me.
Joseph Media House.
You said it was one shot?
It was just like a one-shot cartoon. It was not a series, but T.I. did the theme song. So like he opened up the festival. It was very, very awesome.
Any other big artists there?
Father was there. He opened up Saturday morning. Flying Lotus was there. Mastodon. Joe Perro was there. Eric Andre made a surprise appearance, which is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he came out on stage during someone's set, and like it was not announced at all that he was going to be there.
Well, that's his comedy.
Yeah, I'll say that's the most Eric Andre thing.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Man.
I'll never forget when he went to the DNC and the RNC and just like fucked with everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like in a suit, like in a gray suit with a microphone.
Yeah.
Like who sees Eric?
I
Andre
just want you to fuck my wife.
Yeah.
I want you to fuck my wife.
Who sees Eric Andre dressed like that and like goes, oh yeah, this is like totally reputable. Like, how do you not know Eric Andre? That's what I'm thinking. Like, how are these people falling for this?
Some people it's the same
Honestly,
thing with
I
Sacha
feel
Baron
like
Cohen, man. Some people
just
are so clueless.
But like a lot of people don't know who Eric Andre is. He's a very tight niche of like freaks like us who like seeing him do this crazy shit.
That's a good
point. Like my favorite skit from him is like where he goes on a fucking subway dressed as a cereal. He's dressed as cereal. He goes, everyone. He goes, everyone, I have an announcement to make. I did not get the job at Fruit Loops. I will now sacrifice my body as communion to you all. And he just starts pouring milk into a cone he has as he's the cereal. Then he starts walking towards people. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it because literally I literally almost peed myself watching it. And the first 20 times.
One of my favorite things is just when he's just interviewing guests and just making them uncomfortable, and then you see Hannibal the camera cuts him. He's just profusely sweating.
He's just sweating, yeah.
And it's just no context. And I don't know why. I just almost piss myself every time.
Hannibal Buress makes. Then they bring Flavor Flav on one episode, and there's a scene where Hannibal Buress just peels off and punches him in the face, and like that's how it ends. Like it's so crazy.
Do you see like the segments where he brings on these Instagram models and he just asks them?
Dude, that's one of my favorite ones. He had what's her name, Lindsay Palis on there. I think that's what her name is. I forget. Dude, that shit was funny.
I like when he was like, no, there's two bits in that. The first, he's like, I'm gonna show you something on my phone. He's like, I would, but it's low bat. And then, dude, this like low battery logo comes up and everybody claps like it was like some big accomplishment. And then there's this one where like they hacked like one of the Instagram models' Instagram, and they put like all this Nazi paraphernalia, and just like pictures of like coiled up poops and stuff.
What about when he has the model on, and then he just has this dude hanging by his skin?
Yeah. That's a thing, you know that.
It is a thing.
I don't
freak show
I don't
thing.
know the term for it, but like people do that, and some people like think it like feels good, like they could put hooks in their skin.
Oh, they get off to it.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. It's right there. It's like some sort of bondage, but yeah.
Hookophilia.
But back to Adult Swim Fest. It was really sick because there was VR. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Adult Swim show Dream Corp, but they had a Dream Corp themed VR thing, and it was very, very cool.
Now, what's Dream Corp?
It's this show. It has a robot in it, and it's fairly new, man. So I haven't seen a bunch of episodes, but I'm like familiar with the characters, and the VR thing was like all the characters, and the robot sends you on this like trippy journey, and literally, man, the way that it starts off is you're dropped into a circus ring, and you can look around the VR set, and there's people like all around you clapping, and then a giant worm comes over from your right, like huge, like a giant worm with its mouth open, and it's like rah! Like it's making a noise like a giant dinosaur, and it just swallows you, and now you're inside of its body, but its body's like a galaxy. That's how it starts.
That's
man.
pretty cool.
It was super trippy.
Were you freaked out by seeing it?
Well,
like when it was attacking you, did you like scream?
No. You were in a wormhole.
Probably that might have been the whole crux of it. Wormhole.
What was it like being in a different dimension?
It was cool, but if you don't have your headphones on, you just hear a bunch of people going like "whoa" around you, and like it totally takes you out of the moment. VR is nothing without headphones. So I took them off for 1 second because I was getting a little disoriented, and I was like, it's ruining.
Does it disorient you like that?
You got a case of VR feet?
Yeah, I get.
Wait, what is that? VR feet?
Yeah, VR feet or VR legs. It's one of them. It's like it's when you're distorted, like your brain. If you're not used to it, your brain is like trying to differentiate you being in the real world while seeing something that's not real.
Yeah,
consuming your real world.
Yeah, like you're not sure what's real and what's not, and your brain's trying to differentiate.
So if you're fooling your senses, you're fooling your eyes and your ears.
Yeah.
So your eyes and your ears are seeing all this, but then you're supposed to be floating, right? But your feet, your touch sensation knows you're on the ground.
Okay.
So now your brain's like, what's going on here?
That must be crazy to feel.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine that.
That's why people fall on their face sometimes when they go in VR and they see a ledge and they're like, and they fall because they think they're about to fall.
There's a million videos of people doing like the VR boxing and they punch their TV and break it. You know, it's like,
or when they get punched in a game, they're like this in real life.
It's really that whole spatial calculating where you're now unsure about where everything is in the
distance.
Room, you know, but the whole theme of like Adult Swim Fest visuals was just like trippy, man. So that VR thing was super trippy. There's the Meatwad experience. So there's like a
Meatwad, like Hulk 100 Force?
Yeah, dude. There was a dome that was just like Meatwad, and when you go in, it's like a virtual ride. Like you sit down on this thing and you look up, and Meatwad's spherical body, once you're inside the actual sphere, is a screen, kind of like you would see on like the 360 IMAX at Franklin Institute. And you sit down and like you start off in a lake in the middle of, I guess, like Canada, because there's like all these pine trees, and you're looking up and you just see stars, and then you get pulled underwater, and then you're in a city underwater, kind of like Rapture and BioShock. It was nuts. Like for me to sit here and describe it would like be like describing like a drug trip, but that was like the whole theme of Adult Swim's visuals. And then on top of that, bro, SpaceX had a launch while we were there, so like you looked up into the sky and you saw that freaking blue thing that was just like flying through the sky. It was magical, bro. It was more magical than Disney World, especially for someone like me. Hannibal Buress came out.
You also went to Show and Jump, right? Or didn't you go to some? You and Jeremy did a
the model
that
we were shooting. She goes by the Instagram handle Shown and Jump. I think that's what you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
so what gallery were you in?
We were at the Broad, which is, by the way, if anyone goes to downtown LA and you're like, what do I do in downtown LA? I want to do what the LA people do. Go to the Broad. Actually, that's probably not even what the LA people do. It was probably all tourists. Go to the Broad's website and order a ticket for the museum. It's absolutely free, and if you don't order the ticket and try to go to the Broad, you'll be waiting in line forever. So we got our tickets like 4 weeks in advance, and it's just this super dope LA art museum with Takashi Murakami art in there. The guy does the Kanye West stuff. There's a Michael Jackson sculpture with bubbles that's like from the 80s. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a star room where you walk in and it's literally like stars and mirrors everywhere. It's a blast, man. Like I'm sure a million people like smoke weed or whatever and go in there, but like it's really, really awesome. But yeah, back to Adult Swim Fest. So the whole thing was trippy visuals. There's a Flying Lotus 3D show, and that was on Saturday, and it happened at midnight. So when you walked in, they gave you 3D glasses. Dude, this was like one of the funniest things that happened. A lot of funny stuff happened, but this was great. So Thundercat comes on first at like 11:30, kills it. His set was amazing. Like it was out of this world, and I've seen him quite a few times. Gets off stage. I'm still surprised like how he can play like the guitar so fast. It's like really cool to watch. He gets off stage and everyone's waiting for Flying Lotus, and everybody has 3D glasses because when you walk in that day of the festival, they give you 3D glasses. So unless you left them somewhere, you don't have it. This guy is standing on the stage, and he's throwing 3D glasses out into the audience. And at first, it's just like kind of like trickles, and then 4 people get up on stage and just start throwing them, and people are like, "Stop, stop!" Dude, there were so many 3D glasses that it was all around on the ground, bro. Like, there must have been like 2,000 3D glasses. Like,
didn't they get like a count for how many people actually went to this thing?
Was there a lot of people there?
There was a. So that's the thing about Adult Swim Fest. In the daytime, bro, it was kind of like low attendance. Still a really poppin' event, but like low attendance. It didn't really pop off at nighttime. Like I met Justin Roiland during the day.
Yeah,
and
that
there must have been
sick.
like it was awesome. There must have been like 100 people. No. Yeah, like 100 people there during the day. So he just like stuck out, and he was just walking around, man, like doing his thing. Like when you said there was a celebrity walking around, all the Tim and Eric, like the Tim and Eric actors that are just kind of like the awkward looking older people.
Yeah,
dude, they were all there.
Really?
And if you watch, check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. I'm not sure if you remember Brown 1, like that guy who has like a daycare. He was like on the security team. And I was like, dude, you're Brown 1. He's just like, yeah. And I was like, can I take a picture with you? He's like, no, sure, no problem. Like, it was awesome.
Oh, he was really bashful about it?
Yeah, he was just like, that's just who he is. I feel like when Tim and Eric, they recruit these actors, a lot of what you see is their actual persona. Like, I met the older black dude that's like, I want to meet that dad, that guy. I met him, and dude, he's exactly like that character is. He's just like dancing all around. He's just like, the biggest city in England? What's it called? I was like, London. He's like, yeah, that's the name of my manager. I'm like, this is how this guy is.
What?
Like, he's just a silly dude. So it was cool, man. Like, it was really a love letter to anybody who grew up with Adult Swim culture and like that kind of stuff. Like, you could look up at the buildings and there's like projection of like Samurai Jack fights and stuff. Like, it was just really cool.
So you said there was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force section. Was there a ham banana there?
No, there was no ham banana.
Dude, that was my all-time favorite character on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Banana, man. There was just Meatwad there. But
so I got a good question.
What's up?
Was Toonami Adult Swim before Adult Swim, or were they two different entities?
So Toonami, I believe, and again, as much as I want to work for this company and I love them, I'm not the expert. I think Toonami was separate from Adult Swim
because that brought the anime.
That was all anime, yeah.
That was all anime, right?
Yeah,
Toonami.
Yeah. That was one. I actually talked to the director of photography there, and we were talking a little bit about Toonami.
Because now Toonami is a part of Adult Swim, right? They have a block during Adult Swim. Because I remember Adult Swim used to be, it was like, here's Adult Swim, and then they had shows playing, but then it became the Adult Swim block, which was 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.?
Yeah. So 2 a.m., I think it might have even went past 2 a.m. I know they start like you might be right, actually, because they start the early kid shows sometimes in the morning, like the really young kid shows, probably at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so Toonami was on when we were young, and then Toonami got X'd. And there's a rap song called Bring Back Toonami. There's all this really
They
cool
came
stuff.
back, though, right?
Yeah, Toonami came back.
Came back
now,
twice.
Now it's like a segment on Adult Swim. So like there's a Toonami block on Adult Swim.
On Saturdays, when 11 p.m.
When you watch Dragon Ball Super, in the lower third, in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, it still says Adult Swim now.
Okay,
you know
so I had a feeling they brought it back within it.
They bring it back just as a nod to the fans, you know? And Bloom still voices the robot. Like, everything is
Did you meet him? Was he there?
I didn't meet him then. I met him back in 2016 when I went to LA. He was on a flight back.
And that's his natural voice, right?
Dude, he has such a golden voice. Like it's
the really deep voice.
Dude,
right?
it's iconic.
The guy that's on the Logic album.
Yeah.
It's like deep. Is raspy right to say?
He has
raspy?
a great voice acting. Voice.
Amazing.
I have a joke with Ant where we just like we kind of say stuff that like we could hear him saying, like, "Does your girlfriend fight crime? Sailor Moon, 11:30." You know, like he's always saying stuff like that. Like, you know, he's just like overpowered Japanese aliens, Dragon Ball Z, new episode 10:30.
That's pretty good, dude.
He always does like these little catchphrases like with everything he's saying. But it was cool. It was a love letter for anybody who first off loved hip hop, and if you love comedy. Joe Firestone was there. Hannibal Buress killed it. When Hannibal Buress came out on stage, he went he's like, Adult Swim Fest 2018. He's like, I'm definitely in the right place. It's a 10-to-1 guy ratio. He's like, people are wearing anime shirts. He's like, I'm definitely in the right place. Yeah. But Joe Firestone killed it. Joe Pera killed it. So yeah, if you were a fan of just like hip hop, man, anime.
So why do you think awesome. Adult Swim, including Toonami, resonated with our demographic so much? Like our age group.
You mean like the anime portion of it?
Not even just. I'm just saying like from people who are aged 21 to like 35.
Well, I think
I have a theory. But yeah.
I mean, for me, Adult Swim and Toonami was a late night segment of things that I could watch that my parents wouldn't let me watch if they knew I was watching it. If that makes any sense.
You think? But they weren't on the level of South Park though.
No, not at all. But like, I still wouldn't be allowed to watch them if my parents were able to sit down and actually look at it. They'd be like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
No, totally.
Watch SpongeBob.
I'd say it's less about the actual content and more about the novelty of it. So like when you go to In-N-Out, there's loaded fries that you can get with Thousand Island dressing, but it's not on the menu.
Yeah,
it's not on the menu. It's a secret menu, so you have to ask for it. They have a secret menu at Wawa.
I think I know you're going with this, and I have a theory too.
Adult Swim and Toonami was kind of like the secret menu of Cartoon Network. Because all day, dude, you're watching these cartoons. You're watching Edda and Eddie, and you're like, it's the same thing every day.
Yeah.
And then you stay up just a little bit later. You disobey your parents, and you stay up a little bit past your bedtime. And there's a whole secret world, and it feels like that whole world was just for you.
Yeah,
that's what was crazy.
Dude, that's real.
It's like everyone's asleep. You're up. Let me show you some cool stuff.
You know,
and then Dragon Ball Z, man, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah.
You know why?
Starts coming.
This is why I'm in the same camp with you. My thinking. I think Adult Swim resonated because it was for us, the kids who stayed up purposely, didn't want to go to sleep yet.
Right.
And then Adult Swim would come on and show it as if it was like an infomercial that would come on Comedy Central at 1 a.m. And they would show like old people swimming sometimes, like Adult Swim, and they would advertise it like, oh, this is like super lighthearted. It's something that you could fall asleep to. And then it would cut the black, say, did your parents leave yet?
Yeah.
Cool. And then it would start like fucking Venture Bros.
Yeah,
oh my God, dude, I forgot
That's what
about
I'm saying.
that.
And then it would say, your parents leave yet? Cool. Fucking Venture Bros or home movies or
dude,
fucking
Venture Bros still going, dude.
I know, dude.
Space
They
Ghost
just
Coast
came
to
out with a new
Coast.
season.
Yeah, they brought out
C-Lab 2021,
yeah,
dude.
C-Lab.
I love the girl that talks like this. I forget her name, but she was a part of the Monarch's crew. She was his girlfriend. They didn't actually date.
I love Space Ghost, man. Space Ghost,
dude.
is awesome.
Is that her name?
No. I'm just talking about Space Ghost.
And
I was like, please tell me her name.
And then they had just like Flying Lotus just playing in the background.
Well, Flying Lotus said that like before anything happened, man, where he was like, living. I think he was just like living with his parents at the time and just trying to make things work career wise. He would watch Adult Swim, and this is his story. There was a bump. Those are the bumps, what they're called, when the screen cuts to black and it's just white text.
Yeah.
It said like, you think you can make beats? Like, send us your beats. You might hear it on TV.
Yeah.
And Flying Lotus, who was an avid anime fan and always watching Adult Swim, was like. He was like, "Whoa! It's almost like it's talking to me." That's what
I'm saying. It made it personable.
Yeah.
And that's what I also liked about like Toonami, because he would come. He's like, "Oh, you're back again."
The guy in the spaceship. Yeah, whatever.
He's like, "Let's see what we have on the block today." And then he goes, he's like, "Oh, this." He's like, it was like it'd be like Kid Next Door. He's like, "This is trash."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Let's get some a little more action."
Dude,
then you see the Dragon Ball Z theme song.
Right.
Bro,
dude, I'm really reliving it right now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. When I was like, I think we were like 9 to 14. Adult Swim, I think that's when it like came out. And dude, I was just like, I would purposely stay up late.
Yeah.
Just so I was like, dude, was that a fluke last night that I just saw that? Like,
right. It was. You hit it on the head. It was almost like, did that really happen? Like, like, did I see like what I thought I saw?
Yeah.
Like, or was I just like really tired and like it was always almost dreamlike because it came on so late.
And then it would open up with like old people walking to a community pool,
right?
And you're like, oh maybe, and then you'd be like, oh, maybe I didn't see what I saw, and then it said, all right, shut the lights off. Your parents are out the room. Let's fire us up. And I'd be like, dude,
that's so cool, sick. Man. And like when Tom the Toonami Robot was on, like, and that's just Steve Bloom voices. Like the music was always like this, like ska techno. It was all like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember
like,
when they killed him? Do you remember that when they killed him off?
I do remember that.
They made that like they made a whole like story.
But then they got a newer version of him. Right then, like he came back as a newer, more built.
There was like a war.
He got
killed.
There's a whole comic book series that's like on the Toonami website that you can read. And by the way, if anybody sees this, any Turner person, this is why I want to work at Cartoon Network, because think about putting all this together. Like it's fun. Like it's just fun to even make a world for your narrator character. Like who has a narrator on a television station?
Adult Swim, let our podcast be on your block.
Well, just let this man be on your show.
It's not about me. All I'm saying is like that.
It's a little bit about
that
you.
changed my life, man. Like that's why this trip was very important to me. That's why I met Jason.
I wish I knew about it early ahead of time.
Honestly, that's what you gotta tell Adult Swim. You gotta write all this down and like what it meant to you and send it to them as part of your cover letter.
I might just take this.
Send this bit in right here. Make this segment.
I also like. I met Jason DeMarco when I was there. Like I met the president of Adult Swim. And
wow,
awesome,
cool guy.
Dude. Yeah, I met his wife, and they were like super nice to me and like very, very cool. Obviously they were super busy, so I didn't get to talk to them much. But it was awesome just like to be there and just to be part of that, man. So, yeah, Adult Swim Fest next year, 100%.
I'm going.
It's totally worth the trip, dude. If you want to go to downtown LA,
kitty.
There's a
I saw him too.
What's up?
What's up, my dude?
If you want to go to downtown LA, there's a place called the Freehand Los Angeles, and it's a hostel. If you pay a little bit more money, you get your own room, and it's very cheap. And that's
would you pay like 45 a night? 45 a night, something like that.
It was something.
Yeah, hostels are the move. That's the wave.
It is, man. Especially like
that's how you meet people too.
If you're young and you're traveling with your friends, and of course you want to meet people, like it's cool, dude. So I would definitely recommend Freehand LA. To anybody that's going to downtown LA, because they have a pool and rooftop bar on the top of their hostel, and it's like one of the biggest spots. Like there's a line out the door to get there every night, but if you stay at the hotel, you just walk out your room and take an elevator to the top, man. Like, so it was a dream come true. Dope. It was a dream come true, dude. So
any funny stories from there?
Funny stories, man. We already said the names of everyone. I don't want.
I mean, just like this bar scene you're talking about.
Dude, no, it's pretty chill up there, man. Like it's pretty chill, as far as like people just kind of chilling and just looking out at the buildings, man. Because this hostel is in the middle of downtown LA, so it's like there's just buildings all around you. It's kind of like a New York rooftop bar, where it's just like these tall like skyscrapers all around you. So people are just like kind of looking over the edge, just drinking. The pool has the lights, so it's like illuminating from the bottom. And it was just like a very magical time to be here and be like, wow, I'm in LA. And you breathe in all that polluted air because there's so much smog in LA. And
do you really smell it?
I don't smell it.
I would say, does it smell funny over there?
No. I mean, this is my second time in LA, but like while we were riding over to the hotel, I was like, Jake, look up, man, because it was his first time in LA. I was like, you can see the Hollywood sign. And we were both squinting, and like on our way driving to downtown LA, like you could just make it out. Like that's how much fog it is. And it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like, wow. It looked like it was like 1,000 miles away. That's how much smog there was. And I was like, ugh. All these people are into gluten and yoga and like exercising and stretching, but
because they're all living on top of each other.
It makes you. That's true, but it makes you wonder, like, if you're so obsessed with health, why do you live in LA, man? Because
it's the same thing with New York, except for New York is like a million times smaller.
Yeah.
And it's like LA is just openness.
Well,
but they're all.
I don't know. Is New York smaller? Because New York is fucking huge.
Well, no. LA and its surrounding area is pretty big. I think I know what Sheldon's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I've never been to LA, like, so I don't know.
I'm saying like Manhattan wise is like people it's literally just living on top of each other. Well, LA is all flat, and it expands, but people are still living on top. Like, everyone moves to LA.
There's so many people there, and that's kind of what makes me sick. That's
did you experience the highway?
I experienced it last time, man. Heavy, because I had my own car there and I was just rolling around. But this time, Jay rented a car and he was only using it to see clients. But yeah, if you're gonna leave somewhere that's 20 minutes away, give yourself an hour. That's like the whole LA rule. Maybe like an hour and a half.
But did you take the 573 or did you take the 202?
Come on, dog. What do I look like? What do I look like to you, Mr. Rogers?
The Californians.
Yeah, man. Listen. I had a great time, and it's just because I had a reason for the trip. Because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're like, oh, I want to travel, but this and that, and I have a hard time planning. My advice to anybody is, if you want to travel, give yourself a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go do this festival, or I want to go see this show, or I want to go do this event that's happening for a limited time. Once you give yourself a reason for why you're out there, everything becomes so much more easier, man.
Not even that, dude. Some people think that traveling is like super expensive, but you just have to know the season. You just got to know how to plan correctly. Like, you don't have to do it all in one shot. Like,
I'm gonna talk finances.
Me personally, I book the hotel before I get the flight.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, now I have to get the flight.
Right.
So
I did the same thing. Look, Spirit Airlines, $200 round trip to LA.
Boom.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I mean, you can't bring your kids on Spirit Airlines because, you know what I'm saying, they're probably going to have a rough time. But if you're a grizzled adult that can take a little bit of tightness, you can take a little bit of flights being delayed,
I take Frontier.
Your kid's not going to cry. Frontier. Spirit helped us out, dude. We had a pretty good time, man.
Yeah, man.
$200. But yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Or Norwegian Air. I think it's called, Norwegian Air, something like that. Some air. It's a purple airplane. You can get the Europe round trip, $500.
Cool. Yeah. I have another story to share. So last night I went to a concert for a band called The Midnight, right?
Saw it on your Instagram.
Dude, they're so good. So the way that their music is, huh?
Are they local?
No. I don't know where they're based out of. I want to say Canada. I could be wrong. But the way that I would describe their music is, like the opening to Stranger Things? Like how it's very 80s-ish, and you have like the drums and like the don't.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, that's
synth pop.
That's the kind of music this is. It's kind of like synth pop. Some people call it synth wave, but it's very 80s. Like the drums are very 80s.
I like that.
It was sick. All right. So, but the music's really chill, man. Like it's not like Carpenter Brut or the stuff you'll hear on like the Samurai Jack season 5 trailer. It's nothing like super hard hitting, but it's just like very chill, like vibey 80s music. So I'm standing there, man. I made the mistake of getting the vinyl before because I was afraid it was gonna sell out. So I was holding it the whole show. But I was dancing with it, man. It was rough. There was this guy that was standing in front of me, and this huge Asian dude, man. Like, this guy was massive, right? And so the Asian dude has his 3 friends, and the 3 friends have girlfriends. And they're holding court at this concert. Like, the Asian dude has a friend that's just like his size. The guy looks like Donkey Kong, this big white dude. And he had him on his shoulders. Like, I'm like, yo, this is insane. Like, they were holding court. You could tell they were super drunk. They were having fun, right? So they're dancing around. They're being silly. And the guy in front of me, he gets like his shoulder hit. Like, kind of like the hit that you would sustain in a concert if someone was just moving around. It wasn't intentional.
And he's a little too drunk.
Wasn't intentional. Yeah, he's a little too drunk, right? His shoulder gets hit. So the guy standing in front of me has a friend that's with him. And the friend just like talks to the Asian guy. He goes, yo, man. He's like, something like, yo, you're getting too close. Like, you just bumped into my buddy. And dude, without hesitation, this Asian dude just grata! Dude, he just open palmed him. Just like, dude, open palm to the shoulder and just like threw him, dude, like 5 feet away. Just bam. Everybody was like, whoa. The guy who was playing the music like saw what was happening, but obviously was still playing the music. And dude, like, they were really about to fight. And I'm like, wow, like, these people are about to fight. So somebody got in between them. They were holding back both of the parties. Everything went back to normal. But now the guy didn't want to stand in front. So I was like, it was cool if I take your spot. He's like, yeah, you can take it. So I went up there. I took his spot, right? This was so funny to me. So now they switch over to like this song called Endless Summer, and it's kind of like this really like sweet, like beautiful. It really was beautiful, man. The Midnight.
Yeah,
it was this really like it was like really this beautiful like sweet song, man. Yeah. And the mood in the concert changed immediately. Like the lighting changed for the better. Like it was very vibey. It was emotional. Like. Yeah, oh man, you gotta check it out. It was vibey, it was emotional, and dude, I'm looking at this Asian guy, right? And he was super mad. His girlfriend's like, "It's okay, baby," and like he's super sweaty. Bro, I see this dude's face start to change. Dude, he turns around and he goes, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry, man."
Yo,
he goes.
She kept him in check.
He goes, "Hey, bro." No, it was the music. I'm telling you, it was the music. He goes, bro, that wasn't. He goes, that wasn't me. That's what he said. He's like, I'm sorry, man, that wasn't me. He's like, you forgive me, bro? Like, he was just saying bro over and over again.
That's crazy, man.
And the other dude was like, bro, I forgive you, bro. Like, I was like, this should be a meme. They almost hugged it out.
But
they
honestly,
did like the shake and embrace, and I was like, I felt like that, like the midnight was like Bob Marley or something like that. Like, this is the power of music. Like, you saw on his face change. It was so funny. He was just like, man, why'd I fight that guy, man? Like, he turned around. He was
but
just
actually,
like,
especially when all the
adrenaline
has calmed down and like they had like time to think about it, and then this music's calming you down at the same time.
Dude, it was like out of a movie. That's why I thought it was so funny. Like, it just came out. It was like, boom, boom, and he was just like, man, what did I do, man? I just messed this guy's time up. It was so good,
bro.
man.
Like, that's how I am with movies, man. I watched Interstellar for like the 27th time the other day. And
I still haven't caught that,
bro. Bro, it was the scene.
We'll all have to watch it together.
That's like The Godfather.
Sorry, I'm giving a quick. It's not even a spoiler. I'm just giving a quick scene.
La 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 la.
Quick scene synopsis. What are you gonna say?
When they got back into the ship and he was watching the videos of his kids,
Yeah.
I was welling up.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm like, dude, this scene. And then when they cut to him and he's just like just going like that, like crying, and I'm watching. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's a very emotional part. The movie.
I don't know, dude. That part hits heavy, hard hand.
It hits because you know that her anger is misplaced,
but it's also justified.
At the same time, it's justified.
It's justified.
That's why you feel conflicted when you watch it. That's what gives it such a strong
Well, not even
pull.
that, because they're also like 47 something, 47 something. So it's like,
it's weird, man. You put yourself in his shoes, and you're like, dude, it must be eating him up inside.
So here's the $1 million question: would you
do what he did?
Do what he did, knowing your family is safe and secure while
well,
you're
let's
away?
think about how the movie ended, right? He saved.
That got me too.
That's what
that got me
I'm saying.
as well.
Yeah, that got you as well.
Yeah.
And I feel weird, and I apologize to anybody listening to this podcast. It's like, why is Sheldon and Andrew being so vague right now? Because of Ryan, and I don't want to spoil the movie.
Sorry, guys.
No. It's not even that. I don't like spoiling this movie would be the greatest defense because it is my favorite movie of all time.
Dude,
well, that's high praise.
Yeah,
dude,
it's my favorite movie of all time.
Like Christopher Nolan did his fucking thing on this
Christopher
movie.
Nolan movie.
It's,
that has
dude,
me more interested.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Written wise, cinematography wise.
To answer your question,
it's like. It's a perfect film.
To answer your question, though, I would yes because it's for the good of humanity, and it's all about the long-term game, right? Because if you don't, then you have no family to go back to.
Okay.
So it's like die with your family, or make sure they live and have a future. I would do that. So and maybe we should change topic, but yeah. Great movie. Go watch it. I remember when I saw it at the Diamond Theater at Temple back in my undergrad days. And I walked out of that theater unable to speak. You know how when you walk out of a movie with your friends...
You mean the Pearl? Was it the Pearl?
The Pearl. Why'd I call it the Diamond Theater? I don't know. You know how like when you walk out of a movie with your friends, like sometimes you're like, immediately you have to dive into conversation because you haven't been talking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And like you go into the sunlight of outside and you're kind of like stunned. And so like you're trying to say something, you're like, that movie was good, or like, yo, like that person's performance was really cool. I remember I saw it with Steve Sclero and we both walked out and like we couldn't say anything. We were just completely silent. Like we were like, what did we just watch? It was nuts.
Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight.
Yeah, man.
They have all one thing in common. Christopher Nolan.
The Nolan.
The Nolan.
The
Nolan effect. Oh my god, what a movie too.
Did he make Inception too?
Yep.
Yes.
And The Prestige.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good movie.
Prestige is the one about the
Hugh Jackman, the Magicians.
I didn't like that movie.
What?
I didn't like it, man.
Dude, that with Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, that twist at the end.
The twist at the end was cool.
That twist was dope, dude.
The twist at the end was, it was almost like some kind of Family Guy, though. How there's like the double, right? Wasn't that the twist?
Have you seen it? You've seen The Prestige, right?
I don't remember it, honestly.
I don't remember
cool.
how
I'm not going to watch it. I'm really not going to watch it.
Something like that.
I know I love Inception. That was my fucking movie.
Inception's great, and Dunkirk is phenomenal. And I just can't wait to see what his next film is.
Yeah.
Like, Dunkirk was just a banger.
Yeah. Well, was there any dialogue in that movie? It was just
Dunkirk. It was.
Explosions.
It's one of the shortest scripts ever to win a Oscar. It was 90 pages, something like that, of dialogue, which is very small.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of explosions, what did you guys think about the whole debacle and fight Conor McGregor.
Loved every minute.
I watched.
There was a statement that he released after that I'm actually going to read on this podcast I like so much.
I told you about it, and you didn't believe me when I said there was a fight afterwards. Fight after the fight.
I was saying no way and kind of like a no way kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, this is why I said to you in the chat. I said you got to give some more emotion when you text. Because remember that one time when I was like, Andrew, I want some emotion. You're like, I am reaming with emotion. You remember that? And I was like,
yeah,
oh
we're
my
like,
God.
bro,
are you?
I was like, can I get an exclamation point?
I hate texting, man. I really do.
Well, it was fucking crazy because this is really hyped up. Conor McGregor was coming back from his hiatus doing a little boxing with Mayweather. Yeah. Top of the top, didn't he hold 2 belts in 2 different weight classes? A big fucking deal. And then here comes this fucking Russian dude who, did you see the video where he's like wrestling a bear?
I saw that on the way here.
It's fucking crazy.
You were like, how did I beat you to your house? Bro, I was driving slow because I was watching an Instagram video. Don't be on your phone and drive. I was in a place where it was safe to go slow.
Right.
And I was watching him wrestle a bear as
9
a
years
9-year-old.
How much do you think that cub weighed?
I don't know.
More
than him. More than
that
him.
That cub, I think that cub, I don't know how much.
100 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. At least 130.
Listen,
at least 130.
But anyway, he got manhandled by this Russian dude. What's his name? Khabib?
Yeah,
Khabib.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah,
Khabib just like fucking manhandled him the whole fight. And it was just like every there would be like 1 minute of the round would be standing up fighting. Then he would get him to the ground. Khabib would get McGregor to the ground, and then you were just like, is he gonna make it to the next round? Like that was your big question mark the entire time.
I was talking to my brother about the fight, and I was like, the thing is, man, Khabib's body is just like a giant glove. It's like a giant hand.
Massive.
Dude, yeah, honestly, man. Like,
and like Conor is technically bigger in stature, like muscle wise,
but not wider.
Yeah, like Khabib's wide.
There was this overhead shot showing like obviously Khabib wrapping up Conor, and I was looking at his back. I'm like,
and his
dude,
back is
I was
like
his back
spread.
looks like his back looks like the face grabber from Alien, bro.
Yeah,
like, that's how it looks.
I knew
you gotta have a strong back to be on a ground.
Dude,
though.
of course,
like a ground fighter.
Dude, he's just wrapping.
And
people.
He was just in between his thighs, just holding his legs
with one leg.
With one leg, I didn't see one.
Dude,
leg.
so round 1 when he was sitting on top of him for the whole round just to tire him out. He had, it was like he looks like a snake, like a boa constrictor. He had Conor's legs together, right, and Khabib sitting on top of him, and with his left leg, he had it under Conor's both legs and was squeezing, so that his heel was to here, and the legs are trapped in here. He couldn't go anywhere, and he's pressed against the cage like this, with his like face smushed.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, he can't move.
It's fucking crazy.
I was like, he can't go anywhere.
There was no panic on Conor's face, but you could tell inside.
He knew. He's like,
dude.
He's like,
dang
this is
bro.
fucked.
Yeah, I could just
he
see.
Knew.
It,
he's like, this is
face.
fucked.
He's like, man, dude, I can't believe I got in this. Like,
and then when Khabib stood up with him, Conor got rocked.
Yeah, man. He
and
got
then
resigned.
And then when Conor was given some life back in the 3rd round, he said, "Nope, we're going right back to the ground."
Well, yeah, no, Khabib's ranked higher as a pound-for-pound fighter than McGregor. Yeah. Now I saw that earlier today.
Did you see that one video? When Conor was on his back and Khabib was standing over him and was like going to work on him, like punching him, he's like, "Let's talk." Boom. He's like, "Let's talk." Boom. Boom.
He was talking to him.
Yeah, and there's the people. What's the word? Transcribed.
Yeah, what he was saying.
What he was saying. He's like, "You were saying all that talk. Let's talk." He's like, "Boom, boom," and he fucking him up, right? And then he jumps on top of him, and then the round ends, and Conor says to him, he's like, "It's just business." Like that, and I'm like, dude, like Conor's like showing his hand here.
That is a little. Because
to me, because that's transparent. Because to me,
all we see is the unremorse. You
exactly.
know, the face of just like unremorse.
You're a badass. You talk all this shit,
it's
but then
business.
You're getting your shit beaten.
That
and
really
he was
happened?
like,
"That's crazy."
Dude, I'll show you the video. He's like, "It's just business." And then Khabib is like, dude, he's Russian, proud of his country.
Yeah,
he's a Muslim, proud of his religion. And he's fearful of his father.
Also, the stuff that Conor was saying about his dad could get him in trouble with like the powers that be in Russia if it was believed by Conor.
Was calling the biggest. Conor was calling Khabib's manager a terrorist.
Yeah, that's the thing, and he was just like, bro, like in America, like we have freedom of speech, but in Russia, it's just like, bro, like that stuff could actually get someone in trouble. That's kind of what tipped him off.
That's why the stereotypical Russians look angry. Because they're very serious people.
Regardless, it was absolutely unbelievable to see the end of the round. You know, everyone was really hyped up because he had just taken down like unbelievably.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Oh, I was just saying that it's like unbelievably one-sided fight from everyone watching. It was unbelievably one-sided. And then all you see is Khabib. Like, you don't know what's going on. You see Khabib jumping out of the octagon and like trying to go towards this guy, and then you see him swinging, and like this whole thing, this mass of people is just on the ground, and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
This was Khabib's statement on that.
And but then you just see people coming at Conor, like, you know, Khabib's teammates coming at Conor.
Yeah, but Conor did punch his coach
first.
Yes, when Khabib jumped over, right? Conor was climbing the fence to go over as well, and so was Khabib's coach. So they're like both over, and they're like this distance to each other. So they both have a leg over, trying to get over, and Conor's going like, pop.
I didn't see that. Are you sure about that?
I swear to God, because that's why they're both suspended.
I see. Okay.
So Khabib's team members saw that, and then the one jumped in, was trading blows with Conor, and that's when the other one hopped over and sucker punched Conor. Mm-hmm. But Conor was also in the wrong.
It's crazy
night. Great night.
No, it was an amazing fight. I think what happened afterwards obviously was pretty dishonorable, and I just want to like read what Khabib said about it, because like you look at Khabib, like, dude, think about like all that discipline that he had, and like he's kind of a very righteous person, you know what I'm saying?
Of discipline.
And like for him to do that, it's like, why did he decide to jump over and go after the camp? And this is what his statement says. And I gotta say, this is on Bleacher Report. It has like
it's everywhere, man.
It has 388,000 likes. I'm just gonna read it, man. He goes, I would like to address the UFC. Why didn't you fire anyone when their team attacked the bus and injured a couple of people?
Yeah, I remember reading this.
They could have killed someone there. Why does no one say anything about insulting my homeland, religion, nation, family? Why do you have to punish my team when both teams fought? If you say that I started it, then I do not agree. I finished what he had started. In any case, punish me. And then he mentions Zubaira. Zubaira has nothing to do with that. If you think that I'll keep silent, then you're